Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Diego here in the Panhandle of Florida. It is August 27th, 2024. August has gone away just about, and I know you are all excited because soon you will be getting your K1 visas approved and your green cards, and things will speed up a little bit more the closer we get to the fall. Right now, it's the summer months, so things at the embassies are a little bit slower because of their processing of tourist visas. Lots and lots of tourist visas are being adjudicated all around the world. So things slow up. It seems like the Europeans, everybody in Europe, they seem to take their vacation in August. Everybody takes their vacation in August in Europe. So that kind of slows down green card and or spousal visa processing and K1 visa interviews at the embassies in Europe, primarily France, Italy, Germany, but countries which are really small, like Belgium, really not so much. So, it depends on the workload too of the embassy. But Karina's at work. Karina, she got her green card on June 25th, 2024. She had her K1 visa, her scary visa interview. She had it at the U.S. Embassy in Bogota, Colombia on November 16th, 2023. We've been dating for 3 years. We've been together a long time. Let me adjust this camera a little better. We've been together a long time, and we flew from Bogota, Colombia. I accompanied Karina to the United States into Miami, and we rented a car. She went to her border checkpoint there, and we rented an SUV and drove up here to the Panhandle. And so Karina got to check out pretty much the entire east coast of Florida, from Miami all the way to Jacksonville, and then across I-10 to here. Francois Livingston is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Francois, good afternoon, Diego, and a big hello to the absent Karina. Karina is at her day job. She has her green card. She got a work permit, and they because I know her credentials are very strong. She got hired pretty quick, and even though she doesn't speak English, she got hired pretty quick. And then her green card came in probably about 3 weeks after she got her work permit. Now, back in the day, back when we filed for Karina's green card, we included the work permit application because it was free. Okay? But on April 1st of 2024, immigration is now charging for EAD, employment authorization documents, work permits. You got to pay for it. I think it's about $260, something like that. I can't remember the exact amount. $260 something. Chernobyl 955. Hey Diego, hope all is well. I was wondering, when showing the financial support, what evidence is all that's needed in how many months and years back to present to present to the embassy? Our appointment is on the 26th of October. Well, first of all, you get a Mountain Dew salute because you have your appointment scheduled for the 26th of October. Congratulations. Excellent work. So what financial documents do you need? Well, here's what I would bring. Here's what Karina brought to her K1 visa interview in Bogota, Colombia, back in November of last year. She had 3 years worth of my tax returns. She had 3 years worth of tax transcripts. She had a letter from my boss showing I was working for a real estate broker. She had pay stubs going back 6 months. She had 12 months worth of bank statements where it shows my income being direct deposited into the bank. And what I did was I took the bank statements, 12 months worth. So her visa interview was November. So we had bank statements up to October from 1 October to October, and I highlighted all of the direct deposits from military retirement, etc. Letter from the boss, pay stubs, 6 months worth of pay stubs, 12 months worth of bank statements showing direct deposit payments, 3 years worth of 1040s tax returns, and 3 years worth of tax transcripts. And also don't forget the I-134, the Declaration of Financial Support. The I-134 must be filled out by who? Who fills out the I-134? It's a test. I'm testing you guys. I know the answer, but do you guys know the answer? Who is responsible for filling out the Declaration of Financial Support, the form I-134, to present to the immigration officer at the K-1 visa interview at the embassy. That's a question. Now, it's the end of August and things. The petitioner, Francois, Mountain Dew salute, Francois. The petitioner is correct. The petitioner, Mountain Dew salute, fills out the I-134. The beneficiary doesn't sign it, doesn't touch it, doesn't even do anything with it until he or she goes to the visa interview, the secure visa interview, and then those documents will be presented to the consular officer for the embassy interview. Now remember, do you know what the immigration officer can see about you, Mr. Beneficiary and Mr. Sponsor, Miss Sponsor? When you file your K-1 visa package, you send it to Louisville, Texas. You submit a fantastic K-1 visa application. Louisville, Texas gets it. They make sure the check is correctly filled out, the right amount. Because if you don't put the right amount, if you don't pay the right amount for the K-1 visa, they send it all back to you. You got to redo it. Okay, so they check then it goes to the service center, which could probably be Texas or California, Nebraska, etc. Once it survives the USCIS interrogation at the service center and it gets approved, you get your NOA 2 letter, Notice of Action 2 letter. Then it gets mailed to the NVC, the National Visa Center in New Hampshire. They look at it and make sure there's no errors at the USCIS level. Remember, the National Visa Center has no authority to deny visas. They can't. They have no authority. If there's a problem with the K-1 visa application, they send it back to USCIS. Once the embassy gets freed up from busyness, the National Visa Center will then mail your K-1 visa application that's been approved by USCIS to the embassy. And then you're going to get the in-transit status, and then you'll get the ready status, and then you're going to wait for the packet for email, whereupon you can then pay for the visa fee and submit the DS-160 and schedule the visa interview and the biometrics. Unless you're on a spousal visa. If you're on a spousal visa, the National Visa Center schedules the appointment at the embassy, okay? And you fill out a DS-260, not a DS-160. A DS-160 is a Department of State form filled out, okay, and submitted to the embassy on a K-1. A DS-260 is if you're applying for an IR-1 or CR-1 spousal visa. Francois Livingston, Diego, I may have done a boo-boo. Only sent Hamid 2022 and 2023 tax transcripts. That's okay. Let me see here. 2 years of everything. Is that okay? Do I need to DHL that? No, you're good. But when you submit the green card application, okay, then you're going to want to go ahead and submit the all 3 years. Okay? So don't worry. You'll be okay, Francois. You'll be okay. You could also email and scan it to him if you wanted to. You can email, you can make a copy of your 2021 tax documents and PDF and email it to Hamid in the United Arab Emirates, and he can print it. You can do that. You don't have to send DHL. Texas Juan Mumadi, Diego, my husband got his EAD, employment authorization document. I did include 2023 and 2024 2 years. Oh, that's Francois. But I saw some people got green card immediately before even getting the AD. Why has my husband not got his AD yet? I don't know. Every green card application is like DNA. It's like your fingerprints. Every single green card application is different. Okay, you cannot cookie cut everything. So your green card application may be different from the other person's green card application, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So just be patient, relax, be calm, don't panic, and he will get his EAD. Just relax, his employment authorization document. Denise Jefferson. I'm going to give Denise Jefferson a Mountain Dew salute, guys. Denise Jefferson, a Mountain Dew salute. Hello, Diego. I thought we would have our green card by now, as our pattern for notices as followed yours. Almost to the letter, the green card application, 626, and we included the medical. Any need to inquire? No, you don't need to inquire. Denise, Karina, she took her trusty credit card that she has with her name on it, with our joint bank account, and she paid for her green card application to be shipped via UPS. UPS is closer than FedEx for us or DHL. On February 29th of 2024. By June 25th, Karina had her green card in her hand. So that's what? Let's exclude February. Let's say March, April, May. So that was 3.5 months. But it was during the winter time. Denise, did you submit the green card application during the spring or closer to the summer? When did you submit your green card application? When did Kenneth, your husband's name is Kenneth, right? When did he submit his green card application? What month? You said 6/26 was when you submitted it. Help me out a little bit, Denise, so I remember when you submitted it. Tesha Sweeney Mumadi, where is Karina, Diego? Is she doing good? Karina's at work. Karina has a green card. She has a green card and she's at work. And now once you get your green card, okay, don't forget you're on a 2-year green card. This is a temporary green card. It's not permanent. You got to keep collecting evidence for the 10-year green card. Okay, so in 2 years from now, minus 3 months. So Karina's green card has an issue date, I believe, of June something 2024. I think that's what it was, if I remember. So June of 2026 is when her 2-year green card terminates. So March of 2026 is when she's going to apply for her 10-year green card. But you got to keep collecting the evidence. Okay? Bank statements. When our bank statements come in, I make a copy of it off my phone. I delete the bank account numbers, and it shows Karina's name, my name, and whatever transactions we did for the month. That goes in a document protector. So we're going to submit, over 12 months worth of bank statements. You got to prove to immigration that you became joint bank account holders very close to after you got married. So Denise, you submitted Kenneth submitted his green card application in May of 2024. So it's in the spring. It's coming into summer. So it's going to be a little bit slower. Karina submitted hers in February in the wintertime when there's nobody doing anything, hardly. There's not much going on in February and March, okay, in immigration. But in May and June and July and August, they get busy. So give it 6 months, Denise. I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer. I'm not trying to bust your bubble here on waiting to get the green card. I know Kenneth he's got his work permit, right? He can work. Did he get it? Didn't he not get his work permit, which is good for 5 years? So basically, you're just in a holding pattern right now for the green card. So May of 2024, May to June, July, August, September, October. So around October, let's say around October, you should say October, November at the latest, Kenneth will be getting his green card before Christmas. But right now, it's just a busy time. I mean, I don't know, because that's when everybody applies for their green cards in the summer, because their kids are in school. Now they're out of school, whatever the case may be. Tesha Sweeney, where is Karina working? Karina's working. All right. She has a good job and she's working. She's working in security and other things. So she's good. But this is a public YouTube channel that goes all around the world to 160 countries. So I'm not going to tell you where she's working specifically. Okay. Seriously, the security of this channel is important. Your information is secure with me. You tell me stuff privately sometimes, and I keep that information secure. I don't share it with anybody. You can tell me anything that's going on other than on here, which is public. Okay? If it's public, then it's public. It will go all around the world. But Denise, before Christmas, Kenneth will have his green card. Okay? I would say by the end of October. And that's when things will start to speed up. When people start filing for green cards in November, December, January, February, they'll probably get theirs a lot quicker. But I didn't get to know what's in the green card application. What did you all include in the green card application? What did Kenneth put in his green card application? Did you have pictures of your wedding? Did you get a picture of the wedding rings, of your wedding rings with a copy of the receipt? Did you put the wedding rings in green card application. Okay. Now, Karina and I bought Karina and I's wedding rings in Bogota, Colombia, in the Emerald District. We were walking around the Emerald District, and I saw these wedding bands, and I just went ahead and bought them. And the Colombian lady, was happy. She made some money. She was happy as a camper she can be, and she filled out a beautiful handwritten receipt, and I included that in Karina's green card application. So when they opened up Karina's green card package, they saw that we bought wedding rings in Bogota. They saw, who they, who the vendor was and everything. Let me see. Denise Jefferson, I know you don't check status regularly, but what do you think about the status changing from an estimate of 2 months to 3 months? I don't even pay attention to the status changes from USCIS. Any alarm? No, I don't panic about that. Are they still waiving interviews? They will waive a green card interview if you submitted a grantastic green card application. If you submit a green card application, if Kenneth submitted a green card application that was so strong, immigration don't have time to interview folks. Okay, if they know that your green card application was super strong with lots of evidence, why were they going to waste their time interviewing Kenneth again or you? They're not going to do it. It all depends on your green card application. Karina submitted a package like this thick. Okay, we collected evidence. We got married January 14th, okay, on the beach in Florida. We submitted 30 pictures of the wedding. We submitted photos of the receipts for the wedding rings and the pictures of the wedding rings. We included she got on the bank statements. So we had 2 bank statements we could put in there with her name on it as a co-owner. We had her on the water bill, the sewer bill, the trash bill, all the services, the bills. Her name is a joint responsibility. I printed those and put them in the green card application. She's a military spouse, obviously, so she got her military ID. She got her social security number. She got a BJ's Warehouse card, a library card. How powerful and how much evidence did you put in your green card package? Did you put Kenneth on the title to your car? Is he on the deed to your house? If you put all that evidence in the green card package, more likely you're not going to get an interview. They'll waive it for you. But if you put together a green card application that doesn't have much evidence in it, just the marriage certificate, the I-94, some wedding pictures, the basics, a little folder like this with no evidence of cohabitation or joint commingling of funds, you're going to get in front of an immigration officer and he's going to be asking you questions, or she. So I wouldn't worry about another visa interview, Denise, if you put together a strong green card application. Don't worry. Trust me, immigration would much rather not interview you. They would much rather if they can see from your application that it's totally legit, totally real, strong, being fantastic, immigration are going to mail you the green card. And where does the green card get mailed from? It gets mailed from Corbin, Kentucky. Corbin, Kentucky. General Dynamics has a contract with USCIS, and they produce the green cards and the work permits out of Corbin, Kentucky. Okay. Hannah, regarding the medical exam for adjustment of status, repeat it. I made it in my country without taking the vaccinations, and once I admitted to the Customs and the Border Patrol, took the sealed envelope. Kind advice, what should I do for the medical exam? Hannah, you got to repeat the medical exam. You got to find a civil surgeon in the city where you live and have that doctor, male or female, doesn't matter, recertify your vaccinations and conduct a green card medical exam on you or on your husband. You got to make sure. I don't care where you're watching me from in America. There's a lot of places. You're watching me from California, from New York, from Vermont, from Maine, from South Carolina, Florida. I don't care where, Tennessee, Texas, wherever you are. When your beneficiary arrives in America, okay, make sure you repeat the medical exam for a green card. Yes, if you have a sealed envelope from the embassy, you can use that if it's in a sealed envelope. But are your vaccinations up to date? You don't know. The embassy don't care if your vaccinations are up to date. The doctor doesn't care. But the green card folks, the immigration folks in the United States want to see you are in compliance with every single freaking vaccination. Okay? Got to have every single vaccination. How do you do that? How do you know you're in compliance with immigration? Well, you go to a civil surgeon where you live, like you live in Michigan, Hannah, and just repeat the medical exam for the green card and have the 693 recertified and have your vaccinations recertified. Well, you're a beneficiary, not you, not the sponsor, the beneficiary. And then you get a little white envelope sealed up for USCIS eyes only, like top secret stuff. It's like the plans to a back engineered spacecraft from the Zeta Reticuli. And you put it in your green card application. Boom. Then you won't get an RFE for a medical exam. But if you don't include that information, if you don't include your updated vaccinations, if you don't put a medical exam in there, the immigration officer is going to ask to see it. That's going to put an RFE on you, request for further evidence. That's going to slow down your green card application by 2, 3, or 4 months. You don't want to do that. So when Karina landed in America, we drove from Miami to here. We're close to Pensacola. I just called a doctor up in Pensacola. I said, hey, do you do green card medical exams for immigration? Are you certified by USCIS? Yeah, we are. The State Department. Okay. So I scanned over Karina's vaccination records to the doctor's administrative assistant. She looked at her. Yep, she's in compliance with all her vaccinations. We scheduled a medical exam. We drove to Pensacola. The medical exam took about an hour and a half. And then the doctor signed the 693. The administrative assistant filled it out. He signed it, put it in a sealed up taped envelope. We put it in the green card application, and boom, Karina didn't have an RFE on her medical. Francois Livingston, the I-134 form goes with my fiance to the interview. His interview, correct? That's 100% correct. That's top of the class. Mountain Dew salute for Francois. I don't know why I'm questioning things at this point. It's normal. It's normal, Francois, to question. It's much better to question and question and question and make sure you're 100% clear on this process. And I've got 9 years of experience doing this, guys. I've helped hundreds of people get their green cards and get their K-1 visas approved. They listen to me, they get approved as long as they qualify for the benefit. But I'm not an immigration attorney. I don't work for USCIS or the State Department, and I don't give you any legal advice. I just give you experience. You know, I did not want to put an immigration attorney in charge of Karina's K-1 visa application. There's no way. I'm putting a third party in charge. I'm not going to put my social security number out there to some immigration attorney's assistant. I'm not going to put all my private information out there, my income, none of that. It's all private. It's between me and immigration. Okay. So I'm not going to pay an immigration attorney $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 to fill out freaking paperwork, which is easy to do. Right. And I am totally surprised that somebody will pay a private company to fill out your K-1 visa package or your green card paperwork. I mean, seriously. You're giving up your social security number, you're giving up your address, your bank information, your income, pictures, private photos, and you're giving it to somebody who you don't even know. That doesn't work for the federal government. That they're not under any NDAs or non-disclosure agreements. Not doing it. You can do this, guys. So Karina and I put this YouTube channel together for you. Karina's idea, so we can help you get through this for free. I don't want to see you paying thousands of dollars for this, okay? Don't do that. The main thing is you don't want to be putting out your personal information to third parties, okay? Don't do it. So, yeah, Francois, you're good. Denise Jefferson, wedding photos, car title on his car only. Is your name on his car also? You got to show joint ownership of stuff, okay? Now, I could go out and buy Karina a car, or an SUV, she'd rather have an SUV, and put her name on it and not put my name on it. Does that show commingling of assets? No, it shows Karina owns an SUV. It doesn't help immigration at all. You want to show both names. But if you put and or on the title to the car, either one of you can buy or sell it. Okay? Very good, though, on the credit cards, bank statements, medical exam, very good. Utility bills, excellent. Driver's license, social security number, vaccination, VAC taxes, marriage certificate, etc. I-94. The I-94, you included the I-94. Photos of your passport, Denise, plus Kenneth's passport, plus his K1 visa, picture of his in color. Again, used your advice as a roadmap, which is fail-proof so far. Well, that's a Mountain Dew salute for Denise for following my advice. There was a gentleman who was in a country in Africa who got asylum in another country in Africa because his country was under siege, and he didn't have a passport. But he had but his American citizen sponsor had sponsored him, okay? And she was scared to death. He couldn't get to America because he didn't have a passport. But he was an asylum person in another African country. So I walked him through the process to get him out of Africa to the United States via a K1 visa interview without a passport. Now he's happily married and they're doing great. And now he couldn't believe it. Okay? There are some things that I can help you with. I know the answers to most everything in this process. Let me see. I don't want to miss anybody. So Denise, I'm glad you followed the information. I'm glad it helped you. Life in North Carolina. Hello, Diego from Greensboro, North Carolina. Now, life in North Carolina isn't your beneficiary from the Philippines, the beautiful Philippines, right? If I remember. And a thumbs up so far. Well, I never asked you to do a thumbs up on this channel. I never ask anybody to subscribe to this channel. Never, one time. I don't do it. Number one, it's irritating. It irritates the living daylights out of me when I click on a YouTube video to learn maybe how to fix something. And the first thing they say is, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. Why do they do that? I mean, seriously. If you like this stuff, you're going to watch the channel, all right? That's my opinion. I don't ask you to ever to subscribe to the channel. To me, it's like panhandling. I won't do it. Let me see. Hannah, how much will it cost for the medical exam to make it in the U.S. with the vaccination requirements? Well, I don't know where you live, Hannah. Every single doctor, every civil surgeon in the United States of America have their own price, okay? It costs probably 10 times as much money to get a medical exam done in California than it does here in Florida. Florida, okay, hasn't been really beaten up too much with inflation. It has to an extent, but not as bad as California, because California, they pretty much tax everything anyway. I mean, you're getting hit with massive taxes on your house, on your income, on your stuff you buy. It's insane. So it costs more. It costs more to do business in California. So it all depends on where you live. Okay. What I would do is find a civil surgeon in your city who is authorized by the State Department to do medical exams for green cards, and call them up and ask them how much it is. But you got to do it. You got to do it. Francois. So you think it's okay? 2 years of financial documents? Yeah. It's not. They'd rather see 3 years. But I don't think they're going to give you a hard time over 2 years. But when you apply for the green card, make sure you got 3 years. The green on the affidavit of support, the 864, you gotta tell immigration 3 years worth of income. You gotta show 3 years worth of income on the green card application. Okay, it's mandatory. But for the K1 visa interview, he'll be okay. But you can always scan your 2021 taxes if you want and send it to him in an email. So you're saying, is it okay? It's okay, Francois. For the green card, you got to have 3 years. If I show you right here, let me show you. On the I-864, I'll pull it up for you. Here it is. I got to reprint this. The pages are getting old. This is the I-864. Okay. This is for the affidavit of support. This is what the sponsor fills out. And in here, I got to find it. Maybe it's on the 485, but I thought it was on this one. Right here, on page 5 of 10 of the 864, you got to show right here, and I'm trying to figure out this camera, the most recent tax year, the second most recent tax year, and the third most recent tax year. You got to show it for the green card. Okay? Miguel. Hi, Diego. Miguel, what's going on, Miguel? How's your family? How are you doing? How's everybody's family doing? Naiha. Hi, Diego. Did you change days for your live stream? I just do it on Wednesdays and Saturdays now, because on Monday, I'm basically just rehashing everything I said on Saturday. So you see me on Saturday, and then Sunday you get a day off. Then you see me again Monday. It was an overkill, I think. So Wednesdays and Saturdays are when I do the live stream with Karina. But I'll do a surprise live stream during the week just to keep you up to date on what's going on, to answer questions that you may have questions to that are pressing. Okay? I'd like today. What's today? Karina's at work. I don't even know what day it is today. I lost track of days. Naya, let me see here. Denise Jefferson, yes, my name is on it. Misspoke. Okay, good. Co-mingling of bank account money, co-mingling of assets. That's what immigration want to see. Pictures. When you submit pictures, whether you're submitting pictures for a K-1 visa or for a green card application or spousal visa, you got to include pictures of friends and family. If all you do is submit pictures of selfies, just the two of you, immigration could send you an RFE and say, hey, we know you guys are together, but does your family know you're in a relationship? Do your friends know you're in a relationship? You got to prove it. And when you submit photos to immigration for K-1 or green card or spousal visa, you got to put the names of the people in the photos, the date the pictures were taken, and where the pictures were taken. Like I was with Karina's friends in 2021. I was in Bogota, Colombia, walking down the street with all of Karina's friends. She had like 5 female friends. And I said, hey, let me get a picture. So I did a selfie picture. I did a picture with Karina and her 5 friends and myself. Okay. And I put the names of her friends. Karina's got a ton of friends, guys. She got friends all up in female friends, Venezuela, Brazil, all around the world. Well, South America primarily. I put that in her K-1 visa application. Immigration couldn't care less about selfies, guys. They see a selfie with you, they toss it. They want to see, they want to know, they want to be sure that that you and your beneficiary are in a real relationship with, and that your friends and your family and your Facebook page and your Instagram page and whatever is maxed out with you, with family and friends. Public pictures. Okay. Now I don't have Facebook anymore. I got rid of Facebook. To me, it's a freaking communist, socialist, Marxist censorship platform that the U.S. government uses to keep track of American citizens. Just my opinion. Now, if you like Facebook, that's great. But now Mark Zuckerberg, the president and CEO of Facebook, no, I'm happy for his success. Okay, I'm a capitalist and I'm very happy for his success. But he is just coming out now saying that, he was blocking and censoring stuff on Facebook to benefit a political operative. What kind of crap is that? We don't live in Russia, Soviet Union. This isn't communist freaking Cuba. But he just came out and said it. So I got rid of Facebook. But you can use Facebook to benefit your immigration process, guys. If you have Facebook, that's great. I'm not saying don't have it. I'm just saying I don't have it and I'll never use it again because it's freaking censorship. Okay, but use it to your benefit. If you're on Facebook and you go see your beneficiary, like say you're in, I don't know, the United Arab Emirates, put pictures publicly on Facebook with your friends and you're a beneficiary and print those pictures and put them in your green card application or your K-1 visa package. Denise Jefferson, let me see here. Neha, how long does it take for the calendar to be open to pay the visa fee? Been waiting and waiting. Depends on the country and how busy the embassy is. Okay. Now, when I paid the consular fee for Karina's K1 visa interview in Bogota, Colombia, there was only one slot open, and that was November 16th. And November 8th, I think, was the biometrics. So I took them. I filled out. I basically was the last person to get a visa interview for Karina in Bogota, Colombia in November, and December was closed out. So I just got lucky. But you got to keep looking twice a day. Look in the morning, look in the evening, see if you can find an open slot. Denise Jefferson, yes, passport, very good. I-94, insurance in both names, very good. Listed him as the beneficiary for the 401k, excellent. Again, copied your ideas down to front and back of Costco cards. You're on it, Denise. Hopefully avoiding, no, from what you just told me, Denise, I'm going to give you a Mountain Dew salute for your hard work. You're not going to have a visa, and you're not going to have an interview for a green card. You're not. They're going to mail it to you. But you're going to have to wait because right now it's summer months and things slow up a little bit. Francois Livingston, got it. You're welcome, Francois. Juan Cruz, hey, Diego, how much you pay for your wife's adjustment of status? I'm ready to send mine. Well, remember, when I paid for Karina's adjustment of status, well, she paid for it on her credit card. It was in February. It was on February 29th, 2024. On April 1st, the price went up. Okay? A couple of $100. So whatever I paid, whatever Karina, actually she paid for her green card is irrelevant because it's now more money. It's now, I'll type in the bottom here how much it costs for a green card. This is for one person, an adult, okay? This is how much it costs for a green card application and the biometrics. The biometrics cost is included in there. That's for one person who's an adult. If you got two people over the age of 16, okay, let's suppose you got two kids over the age of 16 and your beneficiary. That's going to be $1,440 times 3. It's expensive. That doesn't include advanced parole, which is a waste of money in my opinion, and the work permit, which is a waste of money in my opinion. Because as soon as you get the green card, you can go to work and you can travel and live in the United States. So Francois, I'm glad you got it, Francois. I'm happy. One cruise, right now it's going to cost $1,440 for a green card application and the biometrics. I think Karina paid like $1,100 or something like that. But that included the work permit, which was free. Okay? But on April 1st of this year, the price of green cards and work permits, they all incurred extra costs, especially the advanced parole. The advanced parole, now you guys know what advanced parole is, right? It's $630. It's only good for a year. But when you get your green card, you don't need the advanced parole document because you got your green card. And remember this, listen up. If you're making plans to travel, you've got your 2-year green card. In my opinion, you shouldn't travel on your 2-year green card. You shouldn't travel. You should stay in America and until you get at least your 10-year green card. Better yet, wait until you become a U.S. citizen, then travel. But if you have the urge to travel on your 2-year green card, make sure you leave the country with evidence of your relationship, your last tax return, pictures together in your house, the title to your car with joint ownership. Bring the marriage certificate. Bring all your evidence of your relationship. Because Border Patrol, you're on a 2-year green card. The Border Patrol can block you from coming back in and cancel your green card if they want. They can do that. Your 2-year green card is probationary. Just imagine you have an ankle bracelet around your ankle. And the government, U.S. government's watching everything you do, where you go, for 2 years, minus 3 months. But if you must travel overseas, that's fine. But make sure you got evidence of your marriage and your relationship. Bring it with you. And also make sure you check the visa requirements to enter the country as a green card holder. So, Mr. American citizen, you can travel to Canada. If you want to go to Canada on vacation, you can go to Canada. You don't need a visa. You can just fly to Canada and jump and spend the max you can be there 6 months and have a vacation in Canada. But if your wife is a green card holder, she has to have an ETA visa. So she can't travel to Canada without a visa. So let's imagine you both jump on a plane, you're going to go to Canada for a week's holiday. You get off the plane, you're good, Mr. American citizen. But your wife, let's suppose she didn't apply for the ETA, whatever it is, the visa. They're not going to let her in the country. So before you travel on your 2-year green card or your 10-year green card, make sure you investigate the visa requirements of the country that you're flying to before you fly. Okay? Denise Jefferson, thanks, Diego. We will do less fighting about it and continue to exercise patience. Don't let immigration inflict emotional turmoil in your family. I want to give Mountain Dew salute, and I'm going to put a bunch of pixie dust all over Denise Jefferson's green card. Every time I put pixie dust, things start to happen. A Mountain Dew salute. You guys have got a 5-year work permit. Just hang out together, wait out the time. You'll get the green card. You're not going to get a visa interview. From what you've told me and the way you've submitted your application, and you said you watched my videos. Well, they're your videos. I just put them out there for you guys to study. If you follow the directions and the advice, you won't be drug into another visa interview. You're going to just get the green card mailed to you. But in the summertime, it's slow. It's slow. But Canada's got his 5-year work permit, so relax. You're in status. You got married within 90 days. He's not going to be deported. Nothing's going to happen to him. All you're going to do is wait for the green card. That's all you're doing. The only thing you can't do is travel. Kenneth has his work permit. He can work. But if you look at the work permit, if you read the small print, it says, do not travel on the work permit. You did read that, right? Don't do that. So the only thing that's restricting Kenneth right now is travel. That's it. He can live in America. He can work in America. You guys are happily married. Now you just got to kick back, put your feet up, and wait for the green card. Okay? It's going to come to your house in Utah. And I'm going to bring Karina to Utah. I want to bring her there just for a vacation. And Nevada. I want to show her Nevada, Utah, Arizona. Those western states. When I was in the Navy, I was living in New Mexico for 4 years. I was in New Mexico at Kirtland Air Force Base. Okay, living on Kirtland Air Force Base. No, I wasn't investigating UFOs at Sandia or anything exciting like that, although I wish I had been able to do that. But I was just there with military orders, and I just loved it out in the desert. New Mexico has got the best green chili, I tell you, the best Mexican food. So I want to give Karina an opportunity to experience Arizona, New Mexico, Nevada. Maybe we'll drop down to California. It depends. Okay? It all depends. Juan Cruz, thanks. No problem, Juan. Hannah, in the instructions form I-693, it is written it is not required to have a medical exam in the USA. It is done within 1 year before filing adjustment of status, but I must complete only the vaccination requirements. Well, Hannah, you go and follow those directions. That's fine. If you want to do that, go ahead and do that. But don't be surprised if you get an RFE because they want to see your medical exam. You either trust what I tell you or you don't. Immigration said it's going to take 22 months for Karina to get her K-1 visa, NOA-2 letter. It took 13 and a half months. Immigration says it's taking 12 months to process green cards. It's taking 5 to 6 months. If you don't want to repeat the medical exam, and you're gonna throw the dice, you're in Las Vegas. You're gonna throw the dice and hope that the immigration officer doesn't want to see another medical exam, a second medical exam. Take the chance. But if you get an RFE, your green card application will be slowed down probably 3 or 4 months. But you do it. Remember, guys, you guys do whatever you want. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just advising you the right way to do things so you get a green card quicker rather than later. Let's see. Hillary Martinez, Egieri Martinez, buenas tardes, saludos desde Bogotá. Egieri, ¿cómo estás? Muy bien. Tu día bien. ¿Por qué tú no en trabajo? ¿Tú en casa? ¿Tú relajas? ¿O tú preparando almuerzo para tu esposa? Buenas tardes, Egieri. Johnny Brielle, hi Diego. They definitely slowed down the approvals for adjustment of status. They do in the summertime. That's what happens in the summertime. And I want to repeat myself one more time. When you get to America, I don't care what immigration paperwork it says about medical exams, repeat the medical exam with a civil surgeon approved by the State Department to approve green cards. Why does the State Department certify doctors in America to do medical exams for green cards if they're not required because the embassy medical exam is sufficient? Answer that question. Why? Because they are required. You must have a updated medical exam plus a vaccination certification. If you don't want to do it, go ahead and not do it, but don't be crying to me if you don't get your green card. Denise Jefferson, me and Kenneth will take to Texas Road. We'll take it to. Oh, we'd love to go to Texas Roadhouse with you guys. We would love to do that. I'm gonna bring Karina. I want to show her Arizona. I want to show her Nevada, New Mexico, and Utah. Okay. I think we'll pass on Washington State because it's always friggin' raining. It rains every day in Washington State. And Oregon, I don't know. I don't know about Oregon. I know they filmed the Goonies there, but I don't know if I want to go there. I've never been to Oregon, but I've never really had a desire to go there. I feel like if I go to Oregon, you'll never see me again. I don't know. Hannah. Okay, I will repeat it, Diego. I'm just telling you what is written on the instructions on the 693. Well, yeah, that's what it says on the 693. But you got to, Hannah. Immigration officers, when they open up your green card application, they're going to look for a medical exam and they're going to look for vaccination certification. If you have a certified medical exam by a certified doctor, let's say in, I don't know, Colombia, and it's in a sealed white envelope, sealed and dated, you can use it. But if you don't have any evidence of a medical exam, other than the fact that you were admitted into the United States by the Border Patrol, you must repeat the medical exam. It's a pain. I know it costs money. It's not free. And it sucks. But do it. It's an investment in your family. And you're going to get your green card sooner rather than later. And then you're going to thank me later on and say, you know, I'm glad I just listened to Diego. And listen, and Denise, we would love to go to Texas Roadhouse. Karina, she likes the Texas Roadhouse. She likes all American food, actually. She really likes the McDonald's French fries. She likes going to McDonald's occasionally, not too often, because it's probably just as expensive to eat at McDonald's as it is at a freaking 3-star restaurant. You know, I've seen some of the prices for hamburgers, and I'm like, what are they trying to do? You know, this is takeout food. This isn't a freaking 3-star restaurant, but they're charging 3-star restaurant prices. You know, $12 for a hamburger? Seriously. Francois Livingston, New York? Question mark. Well, yeah, New York. What's the question, Francois? I love the people of New York. Corinne and I want to take Corinne to New York for a vacation, most definitely. But right now, most hotel rooms are filled up with illegal immigrants. I don't know how many hotels are in New York City. There's got to be over 300 hotels, and it's like most of them are filled up with illegal immigrants waiting for their free credit card handouts. Just my opinion. And then, so what happened to the price of hotels in New York City? They tripled in price because the supply went down. Supply and demand. We live in a capitalist country, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We live in a free market capitalist republic. Supply and demand basically adjudicate price, not the government. The government's got no business fixing prices on anything. It failed in Venezuela. It failed in Cuba. Okay, the government should not be fixing prices. That's communism. The free market determines the price of goods and services. So when most of the hotels in New York, a good portion of them are all being filled up by illegal immigrants being paid by the federal government to live there, that reduces the number of hotels in New York City, which jacks up the price because the supply went down, but the demand is still high because New York's a beautiful place. I lived in Staten Island, and I've been to New York maybe 3 or 4 times back when it was a reasonably priced place to go. But anyway, that's off subject. Francois, YouTube cut off while you were replying to my last question. Would you mind please tell me once more, please, and thank you. The last question is from Francois. Why did YouTube cut off? I need one more before I need to go. Is it just 3 years for tax transcripts, 3 years for bank statements? Okay, Francois, you need 3 years worth of tax transcripts for the green card app. Let's focus on the green card application. You need 3 years worth of tax returns, tax transcripts. You need 12 months worth of bank statements, 6 months worth of pay stubs. And actually, I missed the question and it just popped up, I guess, because they were running a commercial. Francois, before I need to go, 3 years tax transcripts, 1 year's worth of bank statements, 6 months worth of pay stubs. You got it? Francois, I'm sorry, I didn't see the question. And then it popped up. It was a destination idea. New York's a great place. I want to bring Karina to New York City. But I understand why you avoid New York. No, I'm not avoiding New York. The government of New York is making it increasingly difficult for tourists to visit New York. I mean, the crime, there's no hotel availability because they're all filled up with mostly with illegal immigrants. And I say illegal immigrants, they're not migrants. Okay, a migrant is somebody that comes into the United States with a visa that's been approved by the U.S. State Department. An illegal immigrant is somebody that enters the United States without permission, without a visa, without being adjudicated, without a police certificate, without a medical exam, without biometrics. Those people are illegal. They've broken congressional law. And they're coming in by the millions. Well, they were. But we have an election. Elections have consequences. The current administration decided not to secure our borders. So we're going to see what happens on November 5th when we have an election again to see we'll see what happens. Because I'm pretty sure, now I'm not a Republican, I'm not a Democrat, right? I can't stand either of them. They're both as equal bad. They're both basically taking money out of my freaking wallet. But Republicans have a tendency to be more secure of our borders. They have a propensity to be much more secure and more paying attention to keeping our border secure. Every country in the world has a freaking border. If I was to sneak into Colombia illegally, I would be arrested and put in jail. If I was to sneak into Mexico illegally, I would be arrested and put in jail. I mean, seriously, why is it the United States of America, you sneak into this country illegally and you get a credit card, a hotel room, and free medical care? That's a bunch of horse crap. Because American citizens have to pay for that. I'm all in on helping guys come here, helping you come to America legally. We want you to come here and be reunited with your families. Obviously, that's my goal for the channel, is to help as many people as I can. But you know, you come across, if you sneak across the border illegally, you know, I'm not saying, you know, I'm just pretty sure that come November we're going to have an election. If the other guy gets in, you are not going to be able to stay in this country. You're going to be deported. Do you notice how hard it is for people to come to this country legally? Dude, all the paperwork and the police checks and the biometrics and the fingerprints. It is very difficult, right, to come to this country legally. But it's easy just to sneak across the border and get welcomed with a welcome mat. I think the U.S. government's got things backwards. They should make it harder. They should make it impossible to come in this country illegally and make it more easier to come in the country legally. Just my opinion. Right? But I want to see you guys get your green cards and your K-1 visas approved. That's the goal. That's what I want to see. I got all this knowledge up in my head, 9 years of experience. I gave it to you. I give it to you guys for free. So you don't have to pay an immigration attorney. But with that said, guys, ask me some questions. Okay? Hannah, repeat the medical exam. Your beneficiary, repeat it. Just do it over. It's not that expensive. It cost me $175 for Karina to have her medical exam. Repeat it. $175. They recertified her vaccination documents. The doctor signed the 693. She had her medical exam repeated. They put it in a white envelope. They sealed it, and I put it in her green card package. It's easy to do, guys. Scuba, what questions was Karina asked at her interview in Bogota? They asked her 12 questions. They asked her, what is the address where you will be living in the United States? Where are you going to live? What's the address? Karina gave her street address plus the zip code, believe it or not. They asked her, do I have a brother? She said, yeah, I got a brother. Where does he live? He lives about an hour from me. She said, they asked her, have I ever been to prison? That's a kind of a stupid question because they had my FBI report in front of them on the computer. And the worst thing that ever happened to me was I got a speeding ticket in Santa Fe, New Mexico 22 years ago. I was going like 9 miles over the speed limit. And it's on my FBI report. Why? I don't know. But it was a speeding ticket. They asked her, what job do I have? Where do I work? They asked her, how much money do I make? They asked her, how did our relationship develop? Now, that's an open-ended question. They asked her, how did our relationship develop? Well, she started to go into a long, detailed explanation about how we dated. And I made, my first trip to Colombia was supposed to be for 2 weeks for a vacation, and I stayed 5 weeks. Then my second trip to Colombia was for 5 months. Then my third trip to Colombia, and my fourth trip, and my fifth trip, etc. And when she got to the point where she said, I've been to Colombia 5 times, and right now I'm in Colombia. Well, I'm in Florida, but back to I was at our apartment. He put his hand up and said, okay, you no more, you're good. Your visa's approved. But she just had to get an Interpol police certificate to complete it. That's all, which took another month. Francois, try almost 3 years of waiting, but it is so worth it, as you say, just my opinion. Right. Francois, you've been through this. It's taken you almost 3 years to get to this point, okay, in your K1 visa application because of a few boo-boos, but we fixed them, right? We cleaned up the little bit of the mess there and reestablished the paperwork properly, and now you're approved and everything's good. And next month, I believe it's September 18th, is Hamid's visa interview at the embassy in the United Arab Emirates. And you get a Mountain Dew salute for surviving this process for 3 years. That's a long time. That's a lot of time out of your life. But you're going to make up for it all very soon because Hamid will be in America, in New York, in September. And it's going to be fall. It's not going to be hot. It's not going to be cold. It's going to be perfect weather. He's going to love it. Take him down to New York City. Get a tour. Do a boat tour around the Hudson River. Go check out the Statue of Liberty. Show him the stock exchange. Show him the financial district. Okay? Take him up the Empire State Building. I think they have an IMAX theater at the top of the Empire State Building, if I remember. Take him up there. I mean, have a good time. And then keep all those receipts of your trip together and put it in the green card package. Okay, guys, I've been talking for an hour. It's a surprise live stream. Karina and I will be back. I can't remember what day it is. What day is it today, guys? It's Tuesday. Okay, so Wednesday. So that's tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow for the live stream with Karina. We'll see you then. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for spending time. I hope you learned something new today. I hope you learned new things. Remember, this channel is all about learning new stuff, so you don't have to be calling attorneys and paying them $400 an hour or $400 a minute or whatever for the information. I give it to you for free. But we'll see you tomorrow with Karina. Okay? All right, guys. Right now I got to figure out how to shut this off because Karina was the one that normally does it.